So in the future, once you start growing very fast, then you can start thinking about long term and about really what are your goals and what kind of life do you want to have. You should understand how you can build that lifestyle and that kind of life you would love for yourself so you can feel free. I think for me, the value that matter the most is flexibility and authenticity. So flexibility in a way that I will be able to choose where I'm going to work, who am I going to work, what time of the day am I going to do what. So really free to do whatever I want. So it's very easy for me right now because LinkedIn was the reason, and I always like to set boundaries with clients that I would love that they do respect these boundaries, because it is very important to build a life and have the lifestyle that you want to have.
Before we dive into today's episode, please hit that subscribe button. Your support helps us grow and inspire more people on their journeys. Thank you. Hello, Marina. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure, Thomas. How are you doing?
I'm all good and I'm very excited. I hope you are too.
Of course, always. There are some events, podcasts, when there's some like any kind of discussion, any kind of conversation with people that are from LinkedIn, and I'm always open to discuss and to share more about my story and how am I, what am I today? Yeah.
And so to start with, in case there are people who don't know you, can you please introduce yourself?
Of course. So I am Marina. Currently, I'm based in North Macedonia, but I also lived in France, in Paris, for a couple of years. I also lived in Spain for a couple of months. I'm back in Macedonia right now, where I plan to make a bigger project, build a house, and yeah, I'll be staying here for a couple of months. And about me, I'm currently mostly focused on helping clients, founders, freelancers build, grow, and monetize their business on LinkedIn.
Mm.
So I get a little bit of each group. I'm very happy with what I'm doing. I am also recently, a couple of months ago, I opened an agency with another person. She's a very dear person to me. She's Katie Zasheva. Probably you've heard about her. We're working together, and we onboarded a lot of clients lately. We have full hat of work.
Yeah, sounds
So
like
that's
exciting
this
time.
is going.
And before we discuss business and LinkedIn, can we talk more about your country, about North Macedonia? Because as I said, I feel like I've never met anyone from there, so I would be really curious to find out more. So maybe if you can tell us what was it like growing up?
Of course. So our country is a really small country. Like it's just north of Greece, but there's a lot of culture. There's the people are really nice and friendly, although although not a lot of them understand English or any other languages. They are very nice. They will try to welcome you with what they have, what they can do for you. I'm going to say that it's a very free country. When I say free, it's free in a way that I remember since my childhood.
Mhm.
So I was raised here in North Macedonia. I think it's similar for all of our neighbors, Bulgaria, Macedonia, Serbia. So it's very similar for all of us. I remember that we were on the streets as children playing around. Like we were on the street all day playing, like really literally. Like I don't remember going to school like all day, like in a lot of other European countries.
Mhm.
So I felt like really free. I felt like really like there were a lot of children like at the time where we all played openly and we all played freely, and
It was back
uh,
then when there was no social media, so you actually spending time
yeah,
outside.
right, yeah. But I come to the time where I got my first computer when I was, I don't know, maybe 12,
Mhm.
maybe 10, I'm not sure. I just remember some old games like Tarzan or games like
Yeah,
that,
I remember as
like
well. Oh.
such versions of games. Like it was very fun. It was very fun.
Mhm.
But Honestly, I don't remember playing any games. I just remember playing out
Yeah,
freely on
hanging
the
out
street.
outside.
Yeah, any kind of games on the streets. I remember that about myself, about my childhood.
Hmm.
So I'm really not that kind of person that is coming from any kind of gamer background or any kind of like. I don't remember that about myself. I
Yeah.
recently started playing some video games, but
But
um,
I was just smiling when you were describing that because I felt like that was my childhood as well. Spending time outside, you go to school, then you put your bag at home, you go out and spend the whole day playing outside without social media. So it was really nice to hear.
That's right. That's right. I feel it's very different for all of the generation. It's a whole different story. I mean, for the generation of my parents, they were like, I would say in our country they probably didn't have a lot of money, so they
Mm.
were always like sharing their money together and buying stuff together. So
Yeah.
none none of the people, like none of the friends, they feel excluded because they had less. So I think that's a very good starting point to
Hmm.
building relationships and friendships. So that's very nice. What else about my country? I think the nature here is very beautiful. It's affordable for someone that's working, that's having a business.
Hmm.
So that's really nice. I have a lot of family here. My parents are here. Everyone that I love and I would love spending time with is here. So I really think that Macedonia is a very nice country to visit and to learn more about the culture. And yeah, if you would love to come in here, you can visit Skopje. It's the capital city, and also you should go to Ohrid. This is the oldest lake in Europe. So
Really?
they
I
we
didn't
have
know.
also, yeah, this lake in Europe,
Oh,
and it's very beautiful. Honestly, it's very beautiful. It's a small country. You can visit everything in like a week. So yeah,
you
it's
sold
very
it
nice.
to us.
Yeah, I love to travel the world. Still, I there's one country in my heart, and still
Mhm.
that's my country, North Macedonia.
And I might be wrong, but wasn't it called a bit differently before? Wasn't it just Macedonia? I don't
Yeah.
know. I think there was like some tension with Greece, or can you tell us more
Mhm.
about it?
Yeah. So my country was called just Macedonia, Republic of Macedonia. So this it just it was the name, but after I think a couple of years ago, there were some issues with our neighbor Greece, and they I don't know from historical perspective they claimed that they also had part of that our country was their country, that Macedonia was part of their country. So
Yeah.
the part where we live right now, it's also Macedonia, but it should be called North Macedonia because it was all part of their country. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't love to talk about
Yeah,
a lot
understand.
of
Yeah.
politics, but I remember that it
Hmm.
was there was like north and south of Macedonia. So south was in Greece and north is where we live. So I don't know how much of that is true. I don't know why it happened, but it
Hmm.
happened. Yeah.
And although I don't want to discuss too much of politics, but I'm curious: is there like some kind of tension between the countries or between the population of one and two country because of this, or they don't care? What is it like?
Yeah, right. So there is. I'm going to be lying if I say there isn't, because there are a couple of issues with and misunderstandings with our neighbors, with Greece and Bulgaria. They're all claiming it coming back to some
Yeah.
historian fact, and I really don't know how much of it is true. I don't know which side is right, which side is wrong,
Hmm.
but yeah, there is, especially for people like us that are going to spend a holiday in Greece. You can
Yeah.
come back crash car. It's possible. It's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah, there were a lot of these situations because there is some kind of hatred
Hmm.
that's coming from a long time ago, but I really don't like that, and I really don't think
Yeah.
it's necessary at all. I think
Mhm.
we're all just people, and we don't need to go back to some historic and facts. just because we really don't know what happened, and we really don't need to make problems about that now.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's
And,
that's
and
what
and
I.
it's obviously not your fault or not fault of your generation. It's something that happened before, so why should you be affected by this, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's happening, but I really am just staying out of it, and I'm
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
I don't want any place of that. Yeah.
Mhm. So moving to some more positive topic, then what kind of student were you? Were you like someone who was into business or entrepreneurship or traveling, or what were you like?
Yeah, I was studying here near where I live, in the town where I live. So I studied economics. I studied marketing management. So I'm really very familiar with the background and with entrepreneurship. I started early into entrepreneurship while I was studying in university. I had someone from the university, which person did something very meaningful for me. He was a professor and he saw something in me. He saw that I had some kind of potential.
Hmm.
And we opened a topic about the Kindle ebooks that I've shared on Amazon. And he was interested in what was my motive behind it and why did I do it. And yeah, that's when we opened a conversation, and then we started working on something together. So basically, my job was to help him with some blog stuff and some Pinterest stuff, something for social media. It was very simple and very interesting for me because I've never had anything to do with practice until that moment. It was
Yeah.
all with books and you know how it's going on in university. And honestly, there was a real issue here because we don't have a lot of big companies that have marketing departments and sectors, so we had to find any kind of opportunities to do our practice. And I don't really remember anything from doing any kind of practice in that's connected with marketing. So I thought like, okay, I should find another way. So I'm just going to start doing it myself, and I'm just going to teach myself how to do it. And that's how I started doing it. From the university, it was a very nice time. But the last year of during my studies, I moved to Paris. So yeah, I did it online from there. And my universities was like, I would say a basic university in my country. It wasn't something special. It wasn't something that I would like say, yeah, it was because of, yeah, I did it because of my university, or because of my professors, because of the knowledge I learned from
Hmm.
there. So it's not something I would say it is good to have, but not something that made me what I am today.
Yeah.
So it's,
And
yeah.
what made you to go to study at in Paris?
I haven't studied in Paris. I studied in here in North Macedonia, but I moved to Paris for another reason.
Ah, okay,
I
sorry.
moved to Paris for with my boyfriend, so he's half French, and we moved together just to experience
Okay,
something
yeah.
different.
I sorry,
Yeah,
I thought that you maybe went there to study or something like that.
yeah. A lot of people thought that. A lot of people think that, but yeah, I know a lot of people that are studying there. It's very common, right? But yeah, in Paris, I went to just seek another opportunity, just to, I don't know, feel something different, like visit another country but live, which is very different. Visiting and living, it's a different story.
Hmm.
So we chose to go there in France and just see how it goes. France really beautiful, but I would say that I love France because of the language. I really love French.
Hmm.
I really love the food. I really love the countryside. And Paris, not a lot, but anything else I love.
Why is that? Is it I don't know, over tourism, or
Mm.
why don't you like Paris that much?
I don't think that if you're not a French, like a Parisian, like a person that lived in Paris his whole life, you can come and live. But I don't feel that you can have that feeling of a home. I
Mm.
always had the feeling that I was going somewhere, rushing somewhere, like traveling somewhere. It's
Yeah.
never like I felt home. It was never. I have never had that feeling.
Mhm.
I was like always like looking forward to something, but I knew that it was going to finish, and I will come back to where I feel home and safe,
Yeah.
because Paris is it's an interesting city. It's a lot there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to experience. There's really a lot of stuff. It's really accessible. Everything is really so easy to find and to get. Where I went there, I was searching for a job, and for a stranger, I was really interested in anything really. I didn't care. I managed. Well, at the moment I was studying, so I thought I needed to find a job, so it's going to be more interesting for me, and I'm going to learn French faster. And that's what I did. I found a job as an English nanny. I was teaching kids how to speak English,
Mhm.
so they were teaching me how to speak French.
Yeah.
So
Mutual benefit. Yeah.
that's how I learned. Actually, that's how I learned. I was practicing speaking French a lot, and that's how I learned. So it was, yeah, I think that's a very good experience, because I loved my job while I was there, because I think I got one of the better jobs while I was there, because a lot of people just starting out there trying to find something in hospitality, but I'm not that type of person where I can just
Yeah.
go and just, I'm not that. I can never see myself as a waiter or
Mm.
someone that in hospitality. And that's the moment of my life where things got really interesting, because basically my job was to work for a really wealthy family, based in Paris, and the agency that I was working for was a really also like a high-end agency in Paris. So this is the moment where it gets really interesting, because I actually talked to the owner of this agency, and I told her that it would be very good if they had any kind of social presence at all, at least if they could be active on LinkedIn and they could show any kind of activities for children, for families, anything that could be interesting. I thought that it would be very nice to build relationships for the parents, for the children, for that kind of business, because it's every kind of business is built on trust and authority. So we
Yeah.
needed to find a way how to show that, how we're doing it. I know that I'm doing my job very well, but if you find a way how you can show that, showcase that through
Mhm.
social media, that would be even more valuable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I actually managed to convince her that I'm the right person to do that for them. And they give me the first opportunity to work, and anything connected to social media. And
Um,
that's how it everything started.
oh, nice. Yeah, I like to hear like when there is such a moment, something that you wouldn't expect, and it goes from there. So
Right.
does it mean that, or actually before this, were you actually already using LinkedIn to build your personal brand?
Yeah, I was using LinkedIn, but I was using LinkedIn very bad. Like I was using LinkedIn without a strategy. I was posting on LinkedIn pictures of how I'm doing yoga. I was posting on LinkedIn, I don't know, anything that's really not that valuable to hear.
Yeah.
There was a lot about my what I think it's going to be valuable about social media and stuff like that, but most of the time I would say it's fluff. It's not something that's really interesting to read, and I would say that I didn't know how to write well, so I probably guess it wasn't that interesting to read and to see from other people. So yeah, I wanted to say that I wasn't using LinkedIn the right way,
Mhm.
and after I made a huge break, so I made a huge break on LinkedIn, like a couple of months, where I needed to complete the studies and I needed to take the final degree from the university. So I did a huge break here, hoping that after when I come back, I'm going to come back stronger and I'm going to learn more about copywriting and how can I write to attract people and to just be interesting to read and to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe coming back even more, do you remember when you started on LinkedIn in the first place, or why did you actually start posting there regularly?
hmm So I think it was, I think 2022, something like that.
Hmm.
2022, yeah.
And do you
Maybe
remember why, or why LinkedIn specifically?
I don't know. I don't remember the reason why I started on LinkedIn. I probably heard from somewhere that LinkedIn is a good platform to just find opportunities and to find work, and that's I think that's what I was hoping for, to find some kind of
Hmm.
job, to find any kind of opportunities. But I came to a bummer because I didn't know that in order to get what you want, like to get and attract the right people, you needed to build a personal brand.
Hmm.
So I didn't know about that time then. So I was like looking what other people were doing, what they were posting. I was just like, discovering the platform and
Yeah.
how it works, because I already know the other platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and the other platforms, how they work. But for LinkedIn, it was really kind of strange, and I really needed to know the way how people were doing it. And when I started like figuring things out, got so easier, and I started
Hmm.
doing it myself after the huge break. I started like experimenting with a couple of things that work and didn't work for me. But yes, since today, I can say that I can definitely say a couple of things that worked for me and a couple of things that I think that can work for a lot of people. So I can share that knowledge, and I'm really happy to share that knowledge with everyone else. And yeah, would you
Hmm.
love to know?
Yeah, of course. I was about to ask you. I'm pretty sure that there will be a lot to share, but some tips or tricks or even something that maybe you wish you've done differently when starting out.
Right. So first of all, in the beginning, I was trying different content formats, and I really wanted to be different. I didn't want to post just pictures. In the beginning, I think it was famous, popular to make some text posts, and I was sharing a lot of them. And then I started with some pictures and some carousels, and I think I figured it out with carousels because all of my leads came through the carousels. And then when I came back and try to understand why carousels work for me, it was because I was talking about pain points that my audience was struggling with. So I was always sharing examples of how it should be done, because it's different when you say, yeah, you can do it this and you should do that, and you can talk a lot, but show don't tell is the real advice. Because when people love to see, oh, there's an example, well, she's showing me how to do it, which is, I think, very valuable. It's really valuable. I always love to when people can show me like how you do it, like show me an
Hmm.
example so I can understand. It's very easy when you see an example in front of you, and then you can understand, and then you can make it yourself.
Mhm. I completely
Great.
agree. It makes it more relatable and easier to understand.
Right.
Because it's like when you're trying to describe or share something that you know and for you it's obvious, it doesn't mean that it's so easy or so obvious for the person who's reading that maybe for the first time in their life.
Right. Yeah, right. So imagine, so when doing LinkedIn posts, imagine there is a person that's like going to be on LinkedIn for the first week or for the first time, and they're like going to be, well, what's happening? Like, you should make it very easy for them to
Hmm.
understand. Like, very easy. Like, don't try to use any jargon, any complicated words. Really try to cut the fluff and try to say it as easy as possible to be understood. So this is the real game here. You should always cut the fluff. You should always always like this is I since I started doing it, I got so much more engagement and impressions. Really, the formatting matters a lot. The formatting, it's the most important part
Yeah,
of
like the way you structure the copyright. I agree.
always use white space, always use bullet points,
Mm.
numbers, anything else that could help you really with helping people read it easily. So this is just imagine like you're having a like a paragraph of text that's like you don't have any white space and you don't have any kind of formatting to it, and then you read the other part where you or the other post where you can see the white space, and it's very easy, just like it flows very nice. You can just read everything within 30 seconds. This is it, this is how
Yeah.
you do it. You just make it very easy for the people, so they'll come back and they will want to read more.
And I
And
like, especially like when someone orders, let's say, bullet points so that it's from the shortest one to the longest one, and you look at it, it's like, oh my God, this is beautiful. I like this.
that's very funny because I'm always experimenting with the formatting. And there was once when I made a post that looked like that I made the formatting look like a burger. It was very, it was half of the comments were like, oh, what I can see here is a burger. Now I'm hungry. Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
should do that again. I would love to see that.
yeah. That's very funny. I always, yeah, descending, ascending format. It's very nice and it's very easy because and it looks very nice. It looks very
Mm,
stylish. I love it.
yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Other kind of tips that I have. So engagement is a big part of it. Engagement is a really big part of the deal because if even if you're not posting, you should be engaging with other people's posts because through engagement, through valuable comments, you can build relationships. Other people will come to visit your profile and leave comments on your posts. So it is really something you should not leave out of the game. You
Hmm.
just not you cannot hope to just post and just not engage. It's how you
Yeah.
can level up the game, and if you can engage more, it's going to be really valuable, especially in the beginning, especially where you're at 1,000, 5K, 10K. This is a very important moment of your personal brand, of doing a lot of engagement for other people, because the more you do it, the more you show your profile everywhere, the more you're building your awareness, the more you are opening up for potential opportunities. So you
Hmm.
should really not neglect that. It's a very important part of the
And I
of
think
building.
what
Yeah,
people might also forget that by engaging, it means that it increases likelihood that those people will engage on your post because people are often surprised. Oh, why I don't have engagement? Like I do actually engage on their profiles. So it's like something in exchange.
yeah, right. Yeah, there are a lot of people. When you are growing on LinkedIn, when you are growing, you will see that with time there will be more and more people that will come and engage with your posts. Right now, I am very happy with my engagement and with how many people are coming to comment on my post. And I honestly, I don't have that much time to
To respond.
reply and respond to the comments because I got 600 comments per post. This is a lot of
it's
time.
it's
Like
it's crazy. I know.
it's full-time job. You really need to go back and go back, and I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy that people come and they love my posts. But then you will see, oh, how do I manage all of that? I don't want to just
Yeah.
like hire someone and just reply instead of me. It's not fair. I want all of the comments
I
to be replied by me, by the person behind the brand. So yeah,
understand, yeah. I've
yeah,
been thinking the same. Although I don't have such a high engagement as you do, sometimes I'm not going to
yeah,
lie, it feels a bit overwhelming
yeah,
because once you feel like that I'm there for the people, want to communicate with them, but then it's like a full-time job, replying to everything, so
Right.
it makes sense.
That's right. Yeah. It's a
And
full-time job.
want to take your podcast to the next level? At Epic Story, we help you launch, improve, and market your podcast with expert guidance. Whether you're just starting out or refining an existing show, we've got you covered. Visit epicstory.digital and bring your epic story to life. And as we are
Mhm.
talking about this, it's quite a hot topic, but I'm curious to ask you, but you see the engagement, so what is your take on AI comments? I'm pretty sure that you noticed on your post, it's on everyone's post. So what's your experience like with people commenting with AI?
Oh my God, you can see it from the sky, right? You can feel it from I don't know. It's just I reply to them because they took the moment to put the post on ChatGPT and just and I appreciate the time, but I always it's a no. It's
Mm,
very bad. You can find a way how to teach ChatGPT how to comment like you, but to really use just a part of it. Like you can tell him, yeah, when I'm commenting, I want to talk about that, and that. You can just really teach
mhm,
ChatGPT to make it like it's your comment, but just use part of it if you really want some help with that.
yeah.
But I'm really against that. I'm really against AI comments and AI posts. It's really not natural way to build a relationship with other people, especially when you're trying to build a successful personal brand. And it's really not the way to do it. Definitely, I
I
wouldn't do
agree. And I think that
it. Yeah,
sometimes it seems like that people forget that if they do it day by day, you start seeing patterns because you are someone who reads your comments and you can see, oh, this is the person who yesterday commented in a similar way. And when you see it for, I don't know, so many times in a row, it becomes so obvious. So I don't really understand why people keep doing that.
right, right. But also, I think there are a couple of groups of people, like people from India, that are a lot of people that are doing, I think, AI comments, and I can see most of the comments, AI comments that are coming are from people from India. So I don't know what's the point about that. I really, if any of you is really listening to this advice, really stop doing that because it's not valuable.
Hmm.
None of the big creators, I'm not really a big creator, but I am getting really at that point. So we big creators, we don't have time to read an AI comment, and we can see that it's AI generated, and we really want to focus on replying to the valuable comments, to the people that really took the time and left valuable comments. So
Mhm.
I'm just going to leave a little notice here. It's nothing personal, really.
Yeah, I like it, and I can only agree. And just as we are talking about this topic, what is then your, or how do you use AI in general, and how do you follow it? Is it something that you are interested in? Is it part of your work process?
Yeah. AI is part of my work, part of my life, part of, I would say, my best friend, honestly. Just for everything. It's really, I don't know, we have it, especially ChatGPT. I mean, since ChatGPT launched, my life was instantly changed. I
Mhm.
mean, in a better way, of course. I got so much help at ChatGPT, and we can see that it's going to be better and better. First of all, ChatGPT and of course other AI tools. There are a lot of them, but I'm mostly talking about ChatGPT because it's the tool that I'm using the most for work. ChatGPT is really one of the most valuable tools because you can teach the tool to write like you. You can teach the tool to format like the post like you. You can teach the tool to write hooks, to get any kind of help that you need, any kind of cut the fluff here, make the sentence shorter, add me one more letter to make sure that the format is looking perfect. So, you know, you can use it for everything. If I was alone while doing all of those kind of tasks,
Yeah.
it would I would have like I mean I'm probably going to spend double of the hours that I'm
I
Really,
totally agree, and I understand.
maybe even maybe even more. It's really, I don't know, for the people that are not using it, it's really one of the best things that happened to our world.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be even bigger part of our lives. So
Us,
just,
right?
it's not a replacement, but embrace it.
It's
At
not
least give it a try.
no, it's definitely not a replacement, because you should still be able to create that kind of creativity, authenticity, and AI can help you create part of it. It can give you ideas, but it cannot replace it and can give it to you, because you have to discover it yourself, and still you should make it as you feel that you should make it. The more natural and the more personal you get with that, is the better. So yeah.
Yeah, totally agreed.
And what I was talking about ChatGPT, this is a really interesting part, because I say that I use ChatGPT for everything. There were there were times when ChatGPT really helped me. Like, it's like almost like a doctor. I'm going to tell you just examples. One of the example was about, there was a time where I had a problem with my face, because I used some product about washing the face, and then all of my face turned red. I didn't know what was the problem. I'm not allergic to something. I'm not like, I don't I don't know, but I just asked ChatGPT what could be the possible ingredient that is causing this kind of damage to my face. And he said, well, it's probably sodium sulfate or something like that. And I'm like, wow, he really nailed it. It was that one. It was that one.
Oh
when,
wow.
when i when I was like looking after, and the other products that I had, and I tried it with a product that had the same kind of an ingredient, and it
Yeah.
happened, the same thing happened. So I'm like,
Mm.
thank you, ChatGPT. I really appreciate the help.
Yeah, it's a smart
Then,
use case.
yeah, and then last week, I remember doing something really creative. I really wanted to eat something sweet, but I didn't want to order something. So I'm just like, hey, ChatGPT, can you help me do something sweet? This is what I have. And I basically gave him the ingredients. I had some dates, I don't know, some Nutella, some, really good things. Not a lot of things, although there were like five ingredients that I had at home. And he's like, oh, you can make the Nutella protein dates bowls. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, let's try it. And they turned out fantastic. Like, they
Really?
were the most delicious things that I've ever done. Like,
Mm.
I was amazed, and all the people they tried were like, where did you find the recipe? And I'm like,
You should have said that you came up with the recipe on your own.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, it was me, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a like, nice creative use case. And outside of ChatGPT, are there any other tools that you use?
Yeah. So honestly, I use a lot of tools. There are tools that I use for scheduling content for LinkedIn. So I use Publer. This is a scheduling tool that I use for all of my clients, and shout out to them because their tool is really amazing. Then I use ChatGPT. I use AutoUp for post formatting. I use a lot of tools. Honestly, I don't think I cannot really think of a lot of them at the moment, but I do
Yeah, of course.
a lot of them, really.
Hmm.
Calendly and all the stuff for organizing calls. So CapCut for videos, captions for adding captions to the videos. I use Scribe. That's a tool that's helping you write LinkedIn posts. So yeah, I do use a lot of tools,
Hmm.
honestly. They're really helpful. So it's just a waste of time not to use them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I just, as you mentioned the video, I remember your recent post about quite high engagement and impressions on your video. So is that something that, you plan to do more in the future, or maybe can you give us some tips how to go viral like you did?
So I really don't know what to say about this, because it all happened all of a sudden.
She just
This was
doesn't want to give us the secrets.
no, I really don't know what to say. I wished I could know myself. I'm like, I was impressed because, first of all, I'm going to be real. It was me that created the video. So there was not any kind of interaction at all. Like, it
Hmm.
wasn't interactive like other professional videos on LinkedIn or social media. I just added captions, used my brand color, and that was it. I'm not like some pro video designer. I didn't even include some music or some effects or anything. It was very like some boring. When I watched it, I'm like, okay, this could have been done a lot better, but let's go. So let's not overthink it and just share it. And yeah, it got one
It,
over 1 million views.
it's
So
crazy. Yeah.
it's crazy, right? It's my most successful post. Usually I get 60K impressions, sometimes 100K, sometimes, I don't know, 25, sometimes 45, I don't know. But 1 million impressions is definitely a lot of
I,
impressions.
I
So,
cannot imagine.
but
It's
I
such a
think
high number.
so. I'm not going to say if I'm not going to lie if I say the quality of the video was not very good and LinkedIn actually, I don't know, screw up with the quality. It should have been with better quality. I don't know what happened. I tried to post it a couple of times, but it was all the time with the same kind of bad quality. So in the end, I didn't have a choice. But the reason I think was because it was my first video ever. So,
Yeah,
and
that's
we all
possible.
know that lately LinkedIn is pushing videos, a lot of videos, a lot of creators. They're sharing videos, and it was because of the fact that it was the first video. And it was because it was,
Mm.
I don't know, maybe the first video coming from me, and I really don't know what else as advice to give for the video. Maybe I can have some more advice, yeah, in the future where I'll have some more videos and I'll have something more to share.
Hmm. And so I assume that you plan to continue with video content?
Yeah, I think I'm going to continue with video content. It's at least share once a week a video, and that's it. I will see in the future how that goes. It's very nice because you can reshare the video on other platforms.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm focused on LinkedIn, but I also have an Instagram account. I'm not sure if because right now that I see that videos are also working really great, I can just repost on other channels and I can just have them
Hmm.
uh, ready and everywhere. So that's very nice. Other than that, I also have newsletter. The newsletter is mostly for freelancers, and there I'm sharing some insightful things about freelancing career and about anything that could help them level up their freelance business. So
Hmm.
this these are the platforms that I'm currently using.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is the number one focus for now.
And we haven't discussed yet your business. So do you want to tell us more about the business that you run with your partner, with your friend?
Yeah. So our business is called We Craft You Grow, and it's really I love the business. I am in love with what we started together with Katie. So the reason why we started doing what we're doing with We Craft You Grow is because we wanted to simplify everything from the start until the end. When someone comes to us and says, yeah, I have a goal, I want to grow my business and I want to get more leads, we already have that problem solved for the client on a really fast way. Like we already have a process, an onboarding process that's really easy and efficient for us and for them. We have a template that we use on Notion. We already have everything ready that's really easy for them. And our strategy that we're using for our clients is also very good and it's working. So yeah, we started this because of the experience, because of we fall in love with building personal brands, and we wanted to help more and more people with the strategy that we're using because our strategy is working really great.
I think we can all
Yeah.
see, like, based on example of you and of your profile, which obviously they're a big name, so it just makes sense to, to share your knowledge with others. And is that then something also that you were interested in before, like being entrepreneur and founder of business like that?
Honestly, I when I was a child, I always wanted to do something meaningful, help other people, and so I didn't have like any kind of career in mind that I was like, yeah, I want to be that when I grow up. And I can say that it all happened very naturally for me. When I discovered LinkedIn, I can say that in the beginning, like, it was really helpful for me because I didn't know what to do and didn't know how to move in the right direction. But the second time after the huge break, when I came, told myself that I'm going to do things this time, that I'm going to do things differently. So I implemented a strategy and I was testing and I was adjusting and I was experimenting. So it changed everything. And when I started doing it the right way, I can say that LinkedIn changed my life, really changed my
Mm.
life. And it's because LinkedIn is a way, it's a very good platform, first of all. It's a very good way to build a community. It's a very good way, you can have a very good way to show your expertise, to show what you can do, to show, to attract the right clients, to get personal with your personal
Mm.
brand. And this is your personality and your authenticity is the two things that connect people and that make you relatable to other people, because these are the two things people would love to see from you.
Yeah, yeah.
They can get everything they want, but if you don't nail down, like if you can't show who you really are, then it's
Hmm.
really not worth doing it. If you can't show who are you as a person
Yeah.
and what you care for others. So when you choose to do it in a meaningful way, it's this is really the right approach, and it changes everything when you're doing it the right way in a meaningful way.
I agree because it's like you can meet, even the fact that we are now speaking, never met, but just over the LinkedIn, you can meet people literally from all around the world. You never know whom you meet, and it's just, as you said, a great platform, and I see it the same way as you said.
Right, right. I can say and I can confirm and I can swear by these words that once you learn how to do LinkedIn, the opportunities are going to be endless.
Hmm.
And when I say opportunities, I mean opportunities as potential collaborations like me and you, potential collaborations about content creation, potential collaborations about promotional posts, if you would love to do that, potential collaborations about any kind of opportunities, work related, business related, partnerships, full time jobs, like really any kind of, there will be more and more stuff coming on your way
Hmm.
because people can see that you've built something valuable and you've built the trust and authority. So this is really
Hmm.
interesting to
And
people,
don't underestimate it. Yeah.
right? So in the future, I think when once you start growing very fast, I mean a couple of thousand followers per month, then you can start thinking about long term and about really what are your goals and what kind of life do you want to have. You should understand the way how you can build that lifestyle and that kind of life you will love for yourself, so you can feel free or you can feel however you want to feel.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think for me the thing, the value that matters most is flexibility and authenticity. So flexibility in a way that I will be able to choose where I'm going to work, with who am I going to work, what time of the day am I going to do what. So really free to do whatever I want,
Hmm.
whatever I want. So it's very easy for me right now because with LinkedIn was the reason, and I always like to set boundaries with clients that and I would love that they do respect these boundaries, because it is very important to build the life and have the lifestyle that you want to have.
Yeah.
And with the flexibility that remote work gives you, you can really have it all, have it all. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And just speaking of this, have you got any dream destination? Where would you like to work from?
So I have a couple of countries that I would love to visit, but not sure that I am going to stay there and just live there. So any kind of destinations that are connected to the nature, especially seaside, especially the sea in front of me, I'm all about that.
Hmm.
I really love to see. I really love swimming and all the water sports. So I would love to one day have a house in front, in a very small cottage in Italy or in Greece. So that would be my dream, yeah, if you ask
Hmm.
me. But it's going to be after the big plan that's going to a big plan about the house here in North Estonia. So
Hmm.
yeah, in the following years that could be another plan, but
Yeah.
let's do this one first and then we'll think
Hmm.
about the next one.
Yeah. And then, just as we will be finishing soon, I'm curious, what is it that you enjoy doing in your free time?
Yeah, in my free time I love to go out. I love to spend time with friends, just be out there on the sun when there is the sun. I have my daily walks with my dog, Pablo. We
Hmm.
actually brought the dog from Spain. And I love to watch movies, I love to cook, read books.
Got
That's
any favorite books?
I haven't read one couple of months, but if I talk about marketing books, Influence is definitely
Hmm.
one of my
Yeah.
favorite books. But other than that, I love to read thrillers. I love thrillers and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
any kind of any kind of natural, like out of the nature, like the kind of stuff like sci-fi. This is going to be
Hmm.
my favorite genre, even for movies, even for books. So I love to just get out of this world and just be in another world. So
Yeah.
this is why am I reading, and this is why I'm watching and reading something.
Hmm. And then it's obvious, but can you sum it up where people can find you, follow you, and promote any kind of your work?
Hmm. Yeah. So if you would love to work with me, or if you would love to know any kind of information about my agency we've built with Katie, you can find it on wecraftyougrow.com. So this is our website. You can check out everything there, the packages, everything is included there. Otherwise, if you have any other questions about my work, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn and we'll take it from there. But anything
Hmm.
than that, I don't really have anything else to add. Also, about the coaching, so I'm also a freelance coach. So if there are any kind of freelancers listening to this podcast, if you need help about your freelance business, pricing strategy, how to build a personal brand, any kind of lead generation, so any kind of issues that you're facing and you really want to move in the right direction, you can reach out to me because I can help you with that.
And as always, all the links will be in the show notes. And then the last question, is there something that you would like to add, or something that I should have asked you and did not, or anything that you want to share to finish with?
Yeah, something that I would love to add. It's a very simple advice, but I think it works for a lot of people and from a lot of us people that are right now. You can see it's on the other side, but the other side of the success is not a linear line. It's really a tons of ups and downs, and there are going to be so many struggles and so many problems. But really, just be consistent, try to solve every problem on your way, really try to challenge yourself to solve any kind of these problems, because once you become with that mindset, nothing can stop you, and you can just be successful, and you can really do something meaningful, and it's going to, and the hard work is going to pay off.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that is perfect. I want to say a big thank you, Marina. I really enjoyed it. As someone who's been following you, I really appreciate you joining. So thank you so much. I will keep following and supporting, and I wish you all the best. So thank you.
And this is so nice to hear, Thomas. It's very, I'm very happy that you invited me to this podcast. I had really fun talking to you, and I hope that in the future we can talk again on another podcast, on another interview or anything. And yeah.
Thanks for listening to Produced by with Tommen. Check out show notes for all the links, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your feedback. Speak soon.